stuff.
Good afternoon, Woodford County. I'm Judge Executive James Kay, and I am back here with the voice of the Woodford County Yellowjakcets, my friend Darren Douglas. And we are here to preview the quarterfinal Sweet 16 game between Woodford and Etown, Elizabethtown, tomorrow, Friday, St. Patty's Day, March 17th at 11 a.m. at Rupp Arena. And Darren, we have a big matchup, but we also had a big win yesterday in the first round of the Sweet 16 to beat Jeffersontown and move on to the first time our program's ever been to the Elite Eight.
Yeah, I mean, they got only the second time in program history they've been to the state tournament. Of course, way back 37 years ago. I won't tell you how young I was then. But led by Jeff Moffitt, Robert Greenlee, Mark Jackson, Mike Morasia. So that's a few guys. Bob Gibson was on the team, so a lot of people know those names. So, yeah, it was a big, important win. First off, number one, to get through that opening round, and number two, to do it against a team out of Louisville made it even more enjoyable. Although we did over the last, 60 seconds or so, try to give it away 3 or 4 times there at the end. But we were able to hit a couple of free throws late. And man, just a monster game by a couple of people. Yeah, I mean, Jasper had 13. They held him below his average. But I can't compliment the job defensively that Aiden Nelson did on the Chargers' leading scorer in Cameron McDaniels. He held him below his average. He took, I think, 18 shots to get his 13 points. So that was really big. And Aiden also contributed 7 rebounds. I think it was 4 assists and I think 11 or 12 points, maybe 13 points for Aiden. Leighton Starks, huge on the glass, probably the biggest play of the game, or one of the biggest plays. I got 2, actually. That was one of the bigger plays inside the final minute, a missed jump shot by us, and Leighton went up and stuck it back in all in one motion. That was a big play. And then a bigger play than that was the 3 by Santonio Wade to give us a 3-point lead, probably a couple possessions before that. So, and I talk about him all the time. He's listed at 5'9", 5'10", but if you ask him, he doesn't know that. Number one, and number two, I think I jokingly tell everybody on the air all the time he thinks he's 6'9", but he's fearless. And so great job of them. And of course, Jasper does what he does. And then Mekhi Smith, just a solid effort throughout for Woodford. And I got to tip my hat to an unknown contributor, because Leighton Starks went down late in that game with a severe, I don't want to say severe, but a fall. He evidently hit his head on the Rupp Arena floor.
You can hear it all.
I had headsets on. I couldn't hear.
I heard it, man.
Plus, I had Steve in my ear, too, so that helps me not hear. But he didn't come back in the game after that either. But Jonte Jenkins, sophomore, who comes off the bench, is a huge role player to spell perimeter players when we need them. Had to go to the free throw line and shoot 2 free throws, because on the play it was a foul on J-Town. So he had to go up and he hit 1 of 2. Gave us the lead for the final time, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was the final tie or exchange of leads. And I think that was the last time J-Town led or was tied with us. So big day yesterday. Crowd was great. Also, I'm going to, again, I've been a little tough over the years on our student body, but they showed out really well, and we were very loud. I hope we have a bigger group again tomorrow. And I'm going to tell them right now, I'm going to come over in front of you as soon as we get settled over there, as soon as I get, because I'm going to go on the air until about 15 minutes before tip-off. I'm going to come over. We're going to get fired up. I'm going to fire you up tomorrow. So get ready. I'm coming.
Well, and I really think, Darren, I think the whole town's coming with you. I mean, that was
there wasn't a lot of people here yesterday in town, so no. Law enforcement had the easy day.
Yeah, that's exactly right. But I heard a fellow that knows a few things. His name's Todd Probus. Say that it was one of the 5 biggest supporting crowds he's seen from any school in the whole time that he's been going.
Yeah.
I felt that it was as big as any crowd I can remember supporting a high school team. Now, I haven't been to a lot of Sweet 16s. In fact, that was one of my very first Sweet 16.
Well, I went to the 86 game and we had a huge crowd there just because it was our initial trip. Excuse me, as you can tell, I'm battling some issues with my voice, but it'll be ready to go tomorrow. But 86, it was just a huge event. Of course, the ringleaders of getting people organized as far as adults were concerned were my mom and my aunt, of course. Everybody knew Gail Douglas and Bobby Benson. They were the ringleaders getting everybody organized. So we went to that, and especially family members who were in Woodford. But that was the initial. So that was our maiden voyage into it. So I expected a big crowd, even though we were playing the number one team in the state at that time in Pleasure Ridge Park. And then at that time, PDRP also was number 5 in the country. Okay. And they're going against DeMatha and teams like that. And they were number 5 in the country and had 5 Division I college signees. Wow. So when you have that, Rudy Macklin's the one name that comes to mind. Everybody knows that name because he played at LSU.
That's right.
So, there was a lot of guys on that team. So, and we weren't supposed to be there, and we got there and made the county proud and things like that. But this team, folks, Etown's a good team. And I will say that right now, but I feel so good about this team in their focus. And it's not necessarily the offensive end. We get stuff done offensively. We look ugly at times, sometimes on offense, but we get things done. Where I'm most impressed with our team is in their half-court defense. No disrespect to Etown's guards, but I truly, honestly think they have not seen pressure in the half court like they'll see on the perimeter tomorrow morning. And it comes from everybody. Jenkins, when he comes in, Mekhi Smith can get out and guard. Aiden Nelson can guard. Everybody knows what I think about Aiden Nelson defensively, both football and basketball.
Amazing.
And then Jasper with that length he has. And then San Antonio Wade will absolutely bug you to death. He will be in your shirt. We had a coach, and I think it was Coach Bill Bland back in my day playing. I think Coach Bland always used to say, get in his yard, which means get up in his face. Do not let him breathe. Well, San Antonio did that against North Oldham, and he did it again against Collins. He got in the player he was assigned to guard. He got in their yard, but before long, he was in their house. Yeah. So that's what I'm talking about with defense. I don't think Etown's seen that.
No.
And we can not only play at half court, but we can extend it if we need to. So that's going to be fun with that. So this is going to be exciting. I'm excited. It's going to be a heck of an environment. I know this may be a ghost town tomorrow. I think I heard somebody on press row when we took our headsets off. He immediately said, I think I'm going to Versailles because there won't be anybody there and I can have all day long to shop or rob the place if I want. I won't say who the guy was because he's a very respected member, and I know he was teasing. But
we do have some of the best law enforcement in the state.
We do.
We can walk and chew gum at the same time, but just one slight difference between 86 and 23. Those games were at night, I'm told.
Yeah.
My friend Kat Beasley told me that she remembers going, and it was like at 7 at night, which you'd have even more Woodford Countyans going but a lot of folks had to work yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
St. Patty's Day, tomorrow, folks are taking off. They feel that like they should have been there yesterday, so they're going to be there tomorrow. I really think we'll be in like the fill the community stadium numbers, like 5 plus.
I agree, and I will tell you this: the last time I saw that much yellow and black, or gold and black. Okay, let me get it right. I know we got it on KHSAA state numbers, yellow and black, and it's not. It's gold and black.
Well, KHSAA will get it wrong from time to time.
Well, they've been that wrong for a long time, but they still have it as yellow and black. They don't look at it as gold. But the last time I saw that much in one place, and a lot of folks remember this, 2012.
Yep. Over at
Whitaker Bank Ballpark.
Yep.
I know the Legends people. I know my buddy Ron Durbin works for the I can't even say the Legends anymore because there's no more.
The counterclocks.
The counterclocks. Anyway, that's a different story for a different day. And follow me on YouTube. I promise you, I'm going to do a show on that later on because that name just doesn't fit. But anyway, was there. And he told me, he said, I told everybody, get ready. Because he said, I'm going to tell you, Woodford County is going to show out, and there will be probably the entire county up here.
Yeah.
And they were standing room only. So it's not going to be that big, I don't think, tomorrow at Rupp. But hey, Woodford County, you've proved me wrong before.
That's
Proved
right.
me wrong again. And I'm willing to admit on the air, on this show, when I'm wrong.
That's right. Well, and some folks ask me, they're like, Judge, is it because you're Judge, or why do you love athletics so much? Number one, I'm a homer. I'm a lifer. I've went to Woodford. I grew up going to Woodford County basketball games. I was in high school. I never missed any when I was in high school. I played baseball. I loved 2012. I was just John Q. Citizen. I wasn't even a state representative there, and I took my wife on a date. It's in the blood. It's
you took her to a baseball game?
Yeah.
Well, good for you.
Took her to Legends Park.
We got fist bump on that.
And
I didn't know that.
And it worked out. It worked out.
She's still with him.
She's got to work tomorrow, but the kids will be there.
Well, my soon to be, well, I can't say soon to be, my
love of your life.
My future wife.
Love of your life.
Kelly, her first date was with me. Wasn't a Woodford County game, but it was another high school football game that I was producing.
Is that right?
That was her first date with me. So, and she's still with me. So
you're right.
I guess we did something right? But yeah,
and Kelly is Jim, my friend. She
is. And people ask me, well, how do you get to do this and this and this? I said, simple. I got a good lady at home that either, tells me to go and get away for a while and just let her be, or she goes with me. And then I can't remember too many times she hasn't been with me. It hurt her yesterday. She's going to be with me. She's not going to be there tomorrow. But oh, by the way, I want to wish her happy birthday. Tomorrow's her birthday.
Happy birthday, Kelly.
On St. Patrick's Day. So we'll say that to her.
And she's an adopted WOFO.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. She has already told me I have to go to one of my sponsors here in town and get one of the commemorative sweatshirts. She's already told me so. I'll get it tomorrow morning if I can, if I have time. If not, I'll get it later. If they have any left.
Yeah.
If not, I'm in trouble. But that's the thing. I mean, I couldn't tell you how many people. Matter of fact, folks, let's tell you how wide this is spread for Woodford County. As far as I looked up, and then I saw it last night on the news because I wasn't sure I saw it for sure. I look up in a Woodford County adult section where a lot of our adults are hanging out, and I see legendary Billy Hicks, the former Scott County coach.
I talked to him.
He was in gold and black.
That's
and I don't know if he planned that or not, but he was in gold and black. So I was like,
Well, you of course
state's all-time winningest coach, in case people don't know.
Coach Bill Hill, his lovely wife, Mrs. Hill, was the librarian at the high school when I was there
for years,
and great lady. If what is so cool about Woodford County is we're downtown, we're right here in the courthouse right now, and Addie Moore, national champion Addie Moore, is running by practicing. That's awesome.
Nice. Cross country, folks. By the way.
Cross country, yeah,
and long distance runner on the track.
She's
she's young. She what, a freshman?
Sophomore.
Mm-hmm.
But getting back to Coach Hill, so his wife's lovely. She was there. I got to talk to him. But Coach Hill serves on the Woodford County Board of Health. We really appreciate it. He's a great member of the Board of Health.
I have to give both of them. I'm like Miss Hill, feel really old, but she was one of my fourth grade teachers.
Oh, is that right?
At Simmons Elementary. But his mother-in-law was one of my first grade teachers, and she still likes me.
Oh yeah, she's a big fan.
And she still likes me, which is funny. But it's everybody. I mean, I saw that, and we got Vince Merrill that's there. Of course, he's the uncle of John McCreer. And that that's great. But
I think John's going to have a breakout game.
He's got to come up big tomorrow. He's one that's got to come up big tomorrow because he's our size.
Yeah, he's
on the ones that play a lot. But he's got to come strong. Matter of fact, I saw him in the concourse at Rupp yesterday afternoon as I was getting ready to leave, and I told him, I said, man, you got to bring it tomorrow or Friday. You got to bring it Friday. And he said, yes sir. And that's the other thing, folks. If you think, I talked about our football team, how respectful they were, and I know we have several football players on the basketball team, but I'm going to tell you right now, your boys basketball team, and some of the girls I know, I didn't get to hang around the girls team as much as I did the boys team this year, but every time I talk to them, and it's from the top to the bottom, it's always, yes, sir, no, sir, thank you, sir, appreciate it, sir. That's taught.
Kind, courteous, well-mannered, well-raised individuals.
But
That's
boy,
what I
they
find.
step on that across that line to get on the court. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Total change. And it's a good change. There's no negative stuff. They could have started talking trash like J-Town yesterday did, but they didn't. They just played.
It did. That J-Town game did get a little heated in there. But our guys were all about the business.
Yes.
And while but they're not going to shy away from the contact. They're not,
No.
they're a lot of, like, Aiden is a D1 football player. He likes the contact.
And Mekhi Smith has the potential to be that. He holds, I think, 7 or 8 offers right now.
Yeah. And, they call him man, and that's for a good reason.
Yeah, that's just because he's a man inside. He's
and
six,
Aiden
he goes
Nelson
about
is a man,
6'3",
too.
6'4". Just he and Aiden Nelson complement each other so well, in the half court, especially getting in the lane. And then I can't forget Layden Starks. Layden Starks is a beast inside. He's undersized, about 6'4", 6'5", and he went to war with both McDaniel's boys yesterday afternoon or morning. I can't get used to saying morning. But he played as well, I thought, as a big man can do against that kind of girth inside, because both McDaniel's brothers, the one that was a senior, and the one was a sophomore, they both go about 220, 225 and just strong.
And one of them was hitting the three.
Yeah, that was the sophomore. 23.
That actually kept him in the game.
He did. He had a couple of step back threes, but he, like I said, when you have to take 18 shots to get 13 points, that's what you call a volume shooter. He was more concerned about talking smack to any player in a black uniform that was near him. And I think that was, I don't think that was by design for Woodford County to make him do that. I think that was just something where he was frustrated because he wasn't getting easy looks. He really had to work for his shots. And I go back to the North Oldham game in the semis of the region. That's where can't say that's where we got hung our hat on. We hang it on that defensively all year long. But I think that's where it went to another level.
Yeah.
Because Santonio Wade bothered the Roberts kid, the leading scorer and the best outside shooter for North Oldham all night long. He took 25 shots, I think, to get 18.
That's great.
And
Layden Starks, he's really improved, but what a game he had.
He stepped up, hit 2 crucial free throws late in that game with us down 2 to tie it. Then he missed 2 right after that, but he didn't hang his head because that was right before the putback rebound 2 that he had right after that. So, that's a lot of great things to talk about. But tomorrow, I think we're going to see a totally different type of game when it comes to
while you're pulling up the stats.
Well, I think I just got an email, text message. But
well, I'll tell you too, Darren. Before we move from the other game, I want to give Jasper Johnson a heck of a lot of credit because I'll tell you what he does. He's got a lot of intangibles. He's got a lot of confidence and swag. He knows he's good and he is good, but the other team knows that as well. And you'll see him getting double and triple teamed, and that, he may not have a good possession, but he's opened up other guys, and they really carry out the game plan. Well,
and he doesn't. Like Steve makes a comment sometimes, and I know some people kind of question the terminology. But I think the term that Steve was using, he's just dumb. And it's not, we're talking that dumb. When Steve says that, and I've agreed with it on occasion, I will say, but when Steve says that about Jasper, it's not a negative connotation. When he says he's dumb, he doesn't remember what he did to play before. He just goes on, and if he makes a mistake, he's forgot about it.
Yeah.
So that's what we mean by dumb. He just forgets.
Well, and
just goes on and plays.
If you're mad at somebody for calling anyone dumb, it's Steve that did it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna blame Steve either because I'm not gonna put my partner under the bus.
But but it's the
he forgets what he did the time before.
it's the unconsciousness, right?
Yeah,
I didn't just
that's
miss
a better
that shot.
term,
I
right.
didn't miss the three.
Or
Well,
I didn't have a turnover or whatever. He just forgets about what he's done and goes on and makes another play.
he really does that in a beautiful way.
Right.
You'll see him shoot a three and it'll be off.
Right.
He'll come back down, same spot.
Right.
Stroke.
Well, he took a bad shot yesterday late in the game, probably about 2 minutes to go. And what did he do the next time he came down? He made a steal on the defensive end right after that. So that's what we mean by just not caring about what you do on one end. You just make up for it on the other. And that's what Jasper did. He's going to create a problem for Etown tomorrow because they got to make a decision. Do they put one of the Evans boys on him? Which, let's see, one of them, I know the 16 guy name is Aiden Evans.
And Aiden Evans is, like Darren said, 6'10". He had a heck of a game yesterday. He's had a good season.
And he's
going to Murray State.
No, that's he's got to he's I think verbal with Murray, but he's being recruited now by some bigger power schools. I think Cincinnati is one of them. Mississippi State is one. I can't remember. There's a couple others that are big that I can't remember. So they're coming after him now.
And Darren was talking about the old PRP team that the 86 team faced that had like 5 D1 players.
Yeah.
Woodford County's looking like, first of all, Jasper has D1 offers, Alabama.
At the wazoo. They can't
and
count.
The number one seed in this year's NCAA tournament, Alabama has offered him. John McCreer has committed to Murray State, which would be so interesting if he's going to play this Aiden Evans guy.
Right.
Because they could potentially be teammates next year. I really believe, Aiden Nelson is going to play football at West Virginia. I would say if he really wanted it, he could probably get somewhere in basketball if he wanted.
Yeah, he may go to he could probably go to a smaller D1 school for basketball. I think I love Aiden Nelson on the floor, but I think his niche at the college level is going to be in football. And
I think if Santonio Wade, one of my interns here at the courthouse has told me that they call him Santi.
I keep hearing T all the time.
So maybe, yeah. So, but he is on a trajectory. I think he could be a D1 prospect.
Well, if there's anybody out there, and I'm talking young people, I'm talking male or female. If you're undersized and you don't think you can play the game of basketball, and basketball you like in any sport, you think you're undersized. Look at Santonio Wade. Look at number 0, and you can tell. It's not going to matter because if you ask him, he doesn't know he's undersized.
That's right.
And if you watch him play, he plays that same way. So, and
Darren, what? I don't think this was the case with Santonio, but what was the weird technical foul we got for the jersey?
John McCreer has been number 10 all year.
That's right. That's right.
And he comes out yesterday, and I'd noticed it when he came to the scores table, but I just assumed that our coaching staff and bookkeeper for Woodford County got with each other, and then the bookkeeper for Woodford went to the official book and had the number change. Turned out no. And first time I've seen the Jerron Brown whack scores table, and Leanne Barnes, who is with WL Stats, who does a wonderful job with everything. She jumped about 4 feet off her chair from sitting position. So, Jerron's a big man. So, it's kind of scary.
We can't have jersey number technicals tomorrow.
Nope.
We've got to hit free throws tomorrow.
Yep.
If there was one, and I won't say criticism, it just when
one hiccup.
Darren was talking about how, his heart was having trouble taking it, as did mine. But when you got the game in your hands and you got the chance to steal it, and you're missing front end of 1-and-1s. Owensboro got beat in the Sweet 16 today.
Last night.
They got beat last night. Had the game won, missed front end of 1-and-1s and got beat. So
yeah. So we were 14 of 21 from the line. So it wasn't as horrible as it sounds.
It's
Steve
the
pointed
time.
out, yes, the timing of them. It's when they were late. And when you're not hanging on, I didn't feel, I didn't feel 100% comfortable towards the end, even with the lead, but I didn't feel like, oh my God, we're going to fall flat on our face either. So I guess I was one of those fence straddlers. I didn't know where to go.
I felt like we had the better team.
I do too.
I felt like we had the better game plan. I felt like we had the better talent.
I think our defensive game plan was just through the roof, and they executed. I mean, J-Town had some couple open looks, but if you notice, if you go back and you'll replay the game in your mind, if you were there, and if you weren't, if you listen to Steve's and my call, you can understand that they were being pressured at all times. I mean, nothing was easy. Now like tomorrow, it's going to depend on how the three guys in the striped shirts call it. Because they allowed a lot of physicalness in the lane on both ends, so both teams took advantage of it defensively.
I would say that was the region final too.
Oh my gosh,
they let them battle.
Yeah, and I've had some people question me, why weren't you at the region final? Well, I had already signed a contract with Georgetown College to do their 2 NAIA first round games, even if they didn't get. I had to do those games. So I apologize to Jerron, to Dennis, to the boys. Of course, the boys all were like, no big deal. We just got you the state tournament. It's okay.
Yeah.
So, so that's, so that happens. But I will say this tomorrow, and folks, if you're there, keep an eye on it. Watch the three guys in the stripes. Depends on how they call this thing. If they let it go, then I think Woodford has a great chance of getting to the semifinals on Saturday morning. If they call it tight, now we're going to have to grind one. Be like Coach Cal. Got a grinder going on. We got to grind it. Can Woodford County grind it? Folks, they ground out a win against Owen County to open around the region. They ground out a win in the region finals against Collins. I expected them to ground out a win against North Oldham in the semis, and they came out and hit North Oldham in the mouth, and North Oldham didn't have a response. So, I think tomorrow that's going to be the big key. And I've been an official, so I know how I can do. There is so much pressure. There's no pressure on us. There's no pressure on Etown. The pressure is going to be on the three guys in the striped shirts because they have the opportunity not only to move on into the semifinals themselves as an individual or as a crew, but they have so much pressure on them to allow those 5 guys of the 10 guys on the floor at any one time decide the outcome of the game. But they do not want to let it get too far, but they don't want to let it get too loose either. So,
and you're right. So, Woodford plays a better game when they let them play, because people like Aiden Nelson and Leighton Starks and those guys
Smith can bang.
They bang and they hold their own. They can hold their own with anybody.
Yep.
The other thing too is we seem to get in trouble when we get folks in foul trouble, which is pretty obvious that happens. But you get a Jasper, you get John McCreer in foul trouble tomorrow, and all of a sudden, Aiden Evans and some of these big players for Etown can maybe get that they can chink the armor in the defense.
Agree to a point, and I will say this: if you harken back to the Owen County game, Jasper got 3 fouls in the first half. 2 of them were ones where he just didn't use his noodle, and they were bad fouls. And when I consider a bad foul, not moving your feet defensively and trying to stay in front and reaching, or reaching when you got a guy trapped with a teammate of yours and he's used up his dribble and you got him trapped, you got him right on the sideline and you reach. Those are bad fouls. 2 of those were bad fouls against Owen County. Now, to his credit, came back out the second half, stayed out of foul trouble the rest of the game, hit a couple of big monster threes to help Woodford win the game. But I will say again, if it hadn't been for Santonio Wade, we may not be talking today about a potential trip to the semifinals. So,
and Santonio has been great all year, but he hit another level in another mode.
Oh, he's gone
in the district, in the region, and played really great yesterday.
He's the 3rd scorer we've needed. And Mekhi Smith yesterday, aggressive, looking for his shot, especially the 15-footer, 10 to 15-footer. Mekhi needs to do that. I like the fact he loves to disperse the basketball in the lane to from one big to another, and things like that. But he's got to look for his shot to pull that 16 guy a little bit further away. Now, I don't know who Evans is going to guard. There's a couple of them. We have Aiden Evans, who is 21 in white. He's a junior. He has a twin brother, Alex, who wears 23, who is 5 inches shorter.
The good Lord works in mysterious ways.
He does. He does. But so he's 6'3". And now Aiden Evans likes to play on the perimeter at 6'10", because he's going to play there probably Alabama's another one for him. And then it just dawned on me one of the other teams that's recruiting. But he likes to play on the perimeter, and that's all well and good. But I'm Woodford. He had 2 threes yesterday. That's fine. But let's see him come out on the perimeter and guard our guys.
Right.
If he guards Aiden, Aiden's a good slasher, and we do a good job of spreading the floor and allowing Aiden to get in the lane. So that could potentially lead to foul trouble for Evans. If he guards Mackay can do the same thing. If he tries to guard Leighton Starks, Leighton will just play bully ball. And I don't mean that in a dirty way. He'll just be physical with him. And that's the key that I think is, if you can make Aiden Evans play defense in the half court, he's got to guard somebody. And somebody he has to guard, maybe a slasher, he might get some serious foul trouble. Am I scared of him? No, I don't think one player is going to beat this Woodford County. He's got to have 2 and 3 scores as well. If he doesn't, then he's going to have to make sure that he stays out of foul trouble. He can't have any silly fouls for Etown to be successful against the Jackets. But see, everybody thinks, well, Jasper gets in foul trouble, Woodford's in trouble. No. We can have Aiden Nelson. Aiden Nelson had 10 points in the first half yesterday. That got us off to a great start. Finished with 13. Mackay Smith, I think, had 8, I believe, but he had a couple of big shots in the second half that fueled our run. Then, of course, Santonio Way, he had 15 yesterday, lead Woodford. So, we've got guys that can score. Question is, does Etown have enough? And I want to see if their guards can handle the pressure they're going to see in half court. If they can, then Etown's going to be in the ballgame throughout. If they can't and they turn it over, I think it's going to lead to easy baskets for Woodford County. And I think the Jackets then can, I don't want to say coast, but be comfortably in charge of this game. So guard play is going to be huge. Our guards have done a great job in the postseason of taking care of the basketball. And I'm talking from district game on. So if our guards can continue to take care of the ball, not turn it over, Jasper goes off, which is highly possible tomorrow. And he still gets support from Aiden Nelson, Santonio Way, Mackay Smith, John McCreer, Leighton Starks, whoever it is. If he can get 2 and 3 scores with him and say Jasper goes for 25, we win and we go into the semifinals comfortably, awaiting either Warren Central or Ashland Blazer.
Yep.
Now, am I worried about them? Worried about that on Saturday.
Yeah.
But I think we'll be fine. But let's see if these 2 guards who are undersized, let's see if they can handle, the pressure they'll see from our guards. And then let's see how Coach Deron Brown plays it offensively, because their guards are so diminutive. Now, I think they go 5'9", 5'10", maybe 5'11". I think they have a 6'1" kid as well, but they're all shorter than our guards, with the exception of Santonio Wade. So don't be surprised early on if you see Jasper go down in the block and post up on these smaller guys. Now, Alex Evans is laying back there and wait, maybe, or Aiden Evans. Fine, but to come over, you're going to have to come over double quick, and then you got somebody on the backside. So, we'll see.
And Darren, I don't want to put you on the spot, but one thing that we did in the previous preview with Steve, and I think Steve was maybe we didn't get him the link, but Do we have any shared opponents with Etown this year?
I'm gonna look right now. I think we do.
You know, Etown is obviously not that far away, but they do have to travel a little bit more. So
Right.
we have the advantage in that respect. I'm not saying this is a reason why we're winning, but I think it can never hurt. In the region final, we did not have school that day because of a windstorm,
Right.
and the guys played great. They didn't have school on the first round because Superintendent Atkins made a great call and let everybody out of school yesterday. The guys played great. They're going to be refreshed tomorrow. They don't have school. They're not missing school. I'm really hoping they're ready for it. But
Okay.
you see any?
I see a couple. I see three. Fern Creek. We beat Fern Creek in the Lexington Catholic tournament. Where'd it go? There it is, 62-54. They played Fern Creek way back here. Where'd they go? There they are. They lost to Fern Creek at Fern Creek 59-57. So that's one. Another one was Evangel Christian Academy, which, by the way, folks, I thought would be our first round opponent because they were dominating everybody in the 6th region, and all of a sudden they get upset by the sales in the semis. They played Evangel at Central Hardin, so all Etown had to do was go right down the road.
Right.
Because literally, Elizabethtown High School and Central Hardin High School were, I think, within 3 miles of each other.
Yeah.
So they didn't have very far to go. So they lost to Evangel by 9 at Central Hardin. And then the other one, they played Bardstown twice, and they beat Bardstown the first time. I know I saw them up here somewhere.
Well, and so the Fern Creek shared matchup, we won, they lost. That's a good sign.
Yeah, we both lost to Evangel. We lost to Evangel without Jasper and McCreary.
Also, Evangel is good.
Very good.
Really good.
I think they went 6'11", 6'8", 6'7" across the front line. Not many high schools do that unless you're a prep school. They beat Bardstown the first time at home by 13, and then they beat them in the regional tournament by 12. In Woodford County, let me see where
I think we might have lost the Bardstown.
No, we beat Bardstown. Yeah, we did that. That was senior night. We beat them 54-34.
Oh, we whooped them. Yeah. And the other thing, the other thing that, and you can probably compare.
We beat them 82-49.
Oh, really?
At home. That was senior night. Yeah.
The thing that you can also compare is the strength of schedule, and the Jackets have had one of the toughest all season, and it doesn't look like Etown has faced that level of opponents.
No, I will tell you, they played Bowling Green, who's predominantly, Steve just sent a text that he never got the link. That's okay.
Sorry, Steve.
We're doing this on the fly, folks. Welcome to live television. Woodford played out of the chute. They played 3 road games, but here's the thing: we played 5 home games total out of 33 games. I can't say out of 33 because we played 2, so we played 7 home games because the district is at Woodford this year. So 26 road games. Okay, 26.
We're road tested.
We played LCA out of the chute, right out of the bat, without John McCreary, because McCreary was out most of the year hurt.
Yeah, he didn't play till the district tournament.
Then we go to Oldham County, lose by 4. To Dunbar, lose by 3. Then we beat Anderson, but then we beat Mail in overtime at a
Mail's still alive, right?
Classic Mail won big today. Then we played Manual, DeSales, Central Catholic out of Pennsylvania. And for those that don't know who Central Catholic, let me throw out a couple of football names to you. They're in the Hall of Fame. Tony Dorsett, Dan Marino. Not bad. And by the way, some guy named Oscar Shebley. His brother plays there.
Oh, gotcha.
Well, he played there too, but his brother plays there. Then we played Ballard, Fern Creek, Beach out of Hendersonville, Tennessee, one of the top teams in Tennessee in their class. Indian Hills out of Cincinnati, one of the top teams in their classification up there. Evangel, Collins, 3 times.
We scheduled
Mason County at Mason County. If you ever been to Mason County High School, it's a tough place to play.
And we scheduled in the middle of the season, picked up a game against Douglas.
Yeah, Frederick Douglas,
who is rolling and is the number 2 team in the state.
Who is playing or getting ready to play at 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
And they had taken on blank on that one.
Well, Darren, so we'll wrap it up here. We've been going for a little bit. Thanks for everybody for tuning in. You can always, what's your plan tomorrow? You broadcasting the game?
We are broadcasting. We'll be on the air at about 10:30, 10:45. It's audio only. Just go to YouTube, sign my name in the search bar on YouTube.
That's Darren with an I.
2 R's and an I. 1 S. Lost one on the boat on the way over. Y'all will get that joke later. And then scroll down, look for the Yellow Jacket logo. It's not hard to find. And then go down, look for UK Healthcare quarterfinals, Woodford County versus who we played? Etown. I forgot who we played already.
I've already given Todd Probus a shout out, but he had a great joke about Etown. He said, Woodford County is such a great place that they shot the movie Elizabethtown in Versailles.
Right here. Matter of fact, I was an extra in that.
Well, I mean, they know talent.
Well, they thank God they didn't have my face on because I'd have been.
They needed somebody to.
And I just
Orlando Bloom and Darren Douglas.
I just gave my partner a ton of ammo for me tomorrow. He's gonna rip me tomorrow, but. No, I was in the opening scene when Orlando Bloom was driving through downtown. My backside was on Etown, but it didn't make the cutting room floor. Would have had my face been on there. But for those that are interested, Mayo beat Breathitt today, 94-59, or Thursday, I should say.
They put up
94 points.
That's hard to do in
folks. Breathitt County got here
minutes.
After starting 2-5. 2 floods within 18 months of each other. The second flood, worse than the first one, destroyed a lot more property that was already just hurt and damaged. But not only that, folks, in December, that team lost their head basketball coach.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, they go to the football team to get the head football coach and drag him over to football, to basketball. So they had a tough year. And for them to even make the Sweet 16, it was just a phenomenal job up there by them. And oh, by the way, Travis Perry, now the new all-time leading scorer in Kentucky high school basketball history, beating the great King Kelly Coleman record. But he is now there, and Lyon County moves on after a 15-point win over Newport. And then tonight, a couple of games, Frederick Douglass, Martin County is the one I was thinking about. They start that opener, and then the nightcap. Oh my gosh, I wish I could be there. George Rogers Clark out of the 10th region takes on 13th region champ North Laurel.
Reed Shepherd versus Wind City. That's going to be a big deal.
I tell you what, folks, if you've not seen Reed Shepherd play in person, go.
Yeah. Because
he is worth the price of admission. You know, everybody knows his dad.
He's Jeff Shepherd 2.0.
Correct. But his mother was just as good a basketball player at Laurel County High School before they split. By the name of Stacy Reed, then went to UK, became the school's all-time leading assist leader for men or women, was Miss Basketball as well. So he's got it in his genes. So can he play at UK?
She's obviously a leader because she named her son her maiden name.
Yeah.
And so I love that.
And I asked Jeff about it. Jeff said she named him. So he gave the credit where it's credit's due. But I'm telling you, tomorrow, folks, if you can't be there, if you got to work, I understand, but tune us in on YouTube. You will enjoy listening to your Yellow Jackets represent not just Versailles, but Millville, Morrisville, Nonsuch, Troy. Help me out, McAfee,
Clover Bottom,
Clifton, yeah, Hillsboro, you name it.
Little German. So
tomorrow, Little Texas in Woodford County too.
A little part of it over there on the Military Pike.
Yes, sir.
So, folks, tomorrow, 11 a.m. at Rupp Arena. We hope you'll be there.
This
you
guy's
can still get tickets.
He's going to be there. And I'll tell you what, I don't want you. I'm going to put you out on the spot here.
All right.
Bring your boys over.
All right.
Okay.
Can I come over to where y'all?
Come over. You may not be get on the floor, but come over, or at least get into the end zone. Text me. Let me know you're coming. I want a picture with your 2 sons because if our superintendent Danny Atkins get one, they got to have the voice of the Jackets.
That's right. That's right. And yesterday I brought my boys 2 Sweet 16 basketballs. They took them home and they dribbled the logos off of them. I mean, this is what March Madness is all about. This is what Woodford County basketball is all about. It's a great time of year. We're going to win tomorrow.
I agree.
Hope so.
If you want an honest opinion on the ice cream and the quality of it at Rupp Arena, go ask his two sons. They'll tell you.
I can also throw in a review because I had to finish both of those bad boys.
And they were good, weren't they?
Delicious. Can't beat it.
Best in the Southeastern Conference.
That's $6.50 you'll spend.
I'm looking for even more Yellow Jacket fans in the arena. And folks, I'll tell you, your team knows that you're there.
Yes.
Because they had a quote in the paper today, and folks, it was in the Louisville paper, the Courier Journal, saying, "We feed off of our fans." They absolutely willed us to that win yesterday. So if you think you don't make a difference, you do.
Well, and we hope to see you tomorrow, Woodford County. Thank you, Darren.
you,
Appreciate all
guys.
you do. Give love to Steve.